Quiet conversations, private deliberations, and now a decision that has sent shockwaves across North America. Canada, one of the United States' closest friends, is ready to retaliate in ways that might alter the game for the U.S. economy. For decades, commerce between these two neighbors has been a source of stability. However, a tempest has been brewing behind the scenes, and Canada's recent actions may alter their relationship. This isn't simply a bilateral spat. Billions of dollars in commerce are at stake, and economic repercussions are set to spread globally. This is an economic clash that has the power to change sectors and destinies. What is Canada planning, and why are U.S. industries so concerned? Let's break everything down. The seeds of this battle were set years ago, but recent tariff threats from Washington have pushed Canada over the brink. Sources close to Canadian authorities admit that behind closed doors, they have been developing a wide reprisal plot. This is more than simply taxes on steel and aluminum. It's significantly larger. The United States has levied or threatened tariffs on Canadian goods ranging from forestry to agriculture, claiming trade imbalances and protectionism. Canada sees this as an attack on its economy and sovereignty. Canada's retaliatory strategy is extensive and far-reaching. It entails focusing on core areas of the U.S. economy, such as agriculture, manufacturing, and consumer products. Early reports indicate that Canadian officials are considering levies on American-made autos, orange juice, and even iconic American items such as bourbon. These are not random selections. They are deliberate actions designed to hurt industries in crucial swing states. The message is plain. Canada isn't just reacting. It is intentionally pushing back in areas where it will cause the greatest damage. Trade between the United States and Canada is significant. In 2023 alone, the two countries traded products and services worth more than $800 billion. Canada is the greatest export market for American products, whereas the United States is Canada's top trading partner. However, these data are more than simply statistics. They symbolize employment, livelihoods, and whole industries. If Canada's response takes effect, U.S. exports might suffer a billion-dollar knock, with rippling effects across supply networks and local economies. Canada's leaders are thinking about more than simply the economy. They are thinking about politics. They are sending a message to U.S. officials by focusing on sectors in states such as Michigan, Florida, and Kentucky. Trade disagreements have real-world political ramifications. This is a high-risk bet for Canada, but it is also about self-preservation. By holding firm, they demonstrate to the world and their own populace that they will not be intimidated by their major trading partner. For American automakers, Canada's plan is a nightmare situation. Tariffs on automobiles have the potential to disrupt the tightly interconnected supply chains that have long served as the foundation for North American manufacturing. Farmers are also braced for the effect. Canada is a major importer of American agricultural products, and retaliatory tariffs on maize, soybeans, and orange juice may devastate rural areas that are already struggling with rising costs and global competition. And it is not limited to huge industries. Small enterprises that rely on international commerce are also in danger. Although Canada has a lesser population and GDP, it makes up for it in commerce. As the United States' major energy provider, it has clout in crucial areas such as oil, gas, and power. If the disagreement intensifies, Canada may restrict energy shipments to the United States, causing shockwaves in American energy markets. With winter in full swing, such a measure might create significant issues for both consumers and companies. This is not Canada's first trade spat with the United States. In 2018, amid a similar tariff conflict, Canada placed retaliatory tariffs on American steel, aluminum, and other imports. What was the result? Manufacturers and farmers in the United States felt the agony, and public uproar finally led to a solution. Canada is now leveraging its expertise to develop an even more strategic response. They've discovered what works, and they're willing to go further if necessary. The USMCA, United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, was intended to restore stability to North American commerce. However, the most recent conflict is putting its limitations to the test. If Canada proceeds with its retaliation, it might face legal challenges under the USMCA's dispute resolution process. This would further strain ties and may put into doubt the agreement's long-term sustainability. In Canada, the stalemate is about more than simply the economy. It is about national pride. Many Canadians regard the United States' trade threats as unfair and confrontational, and there is widespread popular backing for their government's stern response. For Canadian politicians, this public support is critical. It provides them with the political capital to pursue risky initiatives, even if it means suffering short-term economic consequences. This is not only a North American concern. Other countries are paying careful attention. If Canada effectively fights U.S. tariffs, it may embolden other countries to adopt a more assertive position against American trade policy. At the same time, global markets prepare for potential disruptions. A full-fledged trade war between the United States and Canada may have serious consequences for global supply networks, commodity prices, and investor confidence. While the trade conflict centers on tariffs and conventional commodities, Canada is discreetly utilizing its huge stockpiles of essential minerals. Batteries, EVs, and renewable energy technologies rely on minerals ranging from cobalt to nickel. Canada has historically been a key exporter of these minerals to the United States, but sources indicate that they are reconsidering export regulations. If Canada decides to restrict the flow of vital minerals to the United States or shift its supply to other countries, such as China, American firms may be forced to seek alternate suppliers. This change would not just affect automobiles and technology businesses. It might also hinder America's renewable energy transition, which is a key component of its global competitiveness plan. While national economies are frequently the focus of attention, trade conflicts like these disproportionately affect border areas. States such as Michigan, New York, and Washington rely substantially on cross-border commerce with Canada. Agriculture and industrial industries have strong relationships with Canadian suppliers and customers. If Canada imposes retaliatory tariffs, these states may experience layoffs, factory closures, and diminished economic activity. For example, Michigan alone sent over $23 billion worth of commodities to Canada last year. With Canada targeting American-made autos and parts, the repercussions may damage local economies that rely on these businesses. Canada is the greatest foreign oil and gas provider to the United States. Beyond tariffs, some analysts believe Canada might use energy as a negotiating tool in the issue. Natural gas pipelines, energy exports, and oil shipments all provide vital services to regions of the United States, particularly in the north. While Canada has not officially threatened energy limitations, the mere prospect may send shockwaves through energy markets, resulting in price increases and shortages. This would increase pressure on the United States to conclude the trade conflict swiftly. Disruptions in energy supply may even have an impact on consumer confidence and inflation, causing a ripple effect across the economy. Canada is not operating alone in this trade dispute. It is seeking support from international trade bodies such as the World Trade Organization, WTO. By presenting the U.S. tariffs as breaches of trade accords, Canada wants to raise worldwide opposition to American trade policy. This technique is more than simply symbolic. If Canada successfully pursues the matter to the WTO and prevails, it may apply severe sanctions with international support. This would isolate the United States diplomatically and may lead to similar steps by other countries, further straining its global economic links. Aside from retaliation, this issue raises concerns about the future of commerce in North America. Could Canada and Mexico enhance their economic relationships as a counterbalance to the United States? Both countries have faced tariff threats from Washington in recent years, and their shared experience may push them toward closer collaboration. A stronger Canada-Mexico trade partnership might minimize dependency on the United States and open up new avenues for economic growth outside of U.S. influence. This would mark a dramatic shift in the dynamics of North American commerce, posing new problems for the United States as it seeks to preserve its dominating position in the area. So far, U.S. officials have played off Canada's ambitions, but behind the scenes, there is disquiet. Retaliatory tariffs might spark retaliation, exacerbating the conflict. However, the United States recognizes that it cannot afford to entirely alienate Canada. Canada, as its greatest economic partner and crucial friend, is too essential to ignore. This careful balancing act will influence the subsequent phases in this high-stakes clash. The next several weeks will be key. Canada is drafting its retaliatory strategy, and the United States must decide whether to escalate or back down. For the time being, the future is unknown. But one thing is apparent. This is not simply another trade battle. This is a watershed moment in U.S.-Canada relations, with ramifications that will be felt well beyond the boundaries. Canada's discreet measures behind the scenes have paved the way for one of the most important economic confrontations in recent memory. As the two countries prepare for what might become a full-fledged trade war, the stakes for companies, workers, and governments could not be greater. What do you think will come next? Will the United States change its trade approach, or is this the start of a much bigger conflict? Please share your ideas below. And if you found this analysis useful, remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Stay tuned, for the actual narrative is only beginning.